up? I'm not at MRRF. Really don't care. It's my attitude. I don't care. I don't care. You believe that. I have some waterfront property in Arizona to sell you. Just got to wait for California to fall in. What's up, non-fan? How is life up in Canada? You are a Canadian, right? For some reason, I remember you being a Canadian, a Canuckian, a Canuck, a Canadian, a maple leaf dude. I gotta get a haircut. It's too hot to wear a hat. I got fans, multiple fans going. I got the ceiling fan going. I have the window fan over here. You can't see. And I'm just tired. I'm not at MRRF. I've been fighting my table saw for like 3 days. Problems. I don't know why that word just like, problems. I want to say it in an English accent with a little snood. Province. I'm in the province. We have provinces too here in the States. It's just funny. You're at MRRF? Wait, what? Vikings at MRRF? You're not at MRRF. Did you actually fly over here? Vikings at MRRF? How come I haven't seen any pictures of you at MRRF? Let's say, I didn't think you were there. Anybody want to hop in and hang out? Come on, Viking. You haven't been on a stream with us in a while. Come hang out. And stuff. For some reason, my camera's not focusing. I'm wondering if it's just dirty and it needs a cleaning. Let's find out. This is going to be fun. What does Windex, which this really isn't Windex, this is Walmart brand cheapo. I just refilled the bottle because it's cheap. But I'm going to spray Windex on the lens. So are you ready for the scary sight? That's funny. Oh, I got it all over my television too. And everything else around here, but that was kind of fun. It was worth it. Now I gotta rebalance it because I kicked it all out. Oh well. Good enough. It's just me. No one wants to see me good. No, that's the one good thing, one really good thing about these cheapo, I shouldn't say cheapo, cameras. The hell is this thing? Everybody has one, the 920. They have a glass cover on everything. The sensors, the lens, everything has got a big glass cover. And I feel moist. Moist. There's that word, moist. So I have been fighting for days, actually months, since I got that stupid saw from my brother. Getting the blade lined up. I don't know if you guys know about table saws and everything, but table saw needs to be lined to, you actually line it up to the slots, the gutters, the two slots. There's a slot on the left and right. There's a name for them. I can't think of it. My brain's too fried. It's too hot. Anyway, you have to line them up to the slots, and then you line the blade up to the slots, and then you line the fence up to the slots, and then everything's lined up. And it's just, on these old new saws, you just like turn a screw and like the whole carriage and trunnions and everything move back and forth. It's awesome. In old saws, I mean, this is the 60s. They have 3 bolts on the front trunnion and 3 bolts on the back trunnion, and they're loose. What's up, Mr. Carnes? How is life? Bob's on both YouTube and Twitter. Everybody's on YouTube. I just noticed that. Why is everyone on YouTube? You should be on Twitch. But whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'd actually rather get YouTube going If I could hit that 1,000, how many do I have on YouTube, by the way? How many do I have on YouTube? Let's see. YouTube. Oh, Jesus. I never signed in with Google because Google sucks. But I have to use it. YouTube. How many do I have? It's not very high. It's just like over 500. 544. So I need like another 500. Yeah, if I could hit that 1,000 mark, I'd probably just go to YouTube and screw Twitch. But I can get paid off of Twitch. And it pays for StreamYards, which it hasn't yet. But it will. Because I'm getting about $15 a month. What's up, Free Heathen? I'm getting about $15 a month or so off of Twitch because I stream. I'll stream like 3 days in a row during the day when no one's watching and blah blah. And then once in a while, like once a month, I stream on a Saturday or a Monday night. Usually, Monday night usually does me really good, but whatever. But I'm getting about $15 a month off of it between the ads, and there's like 3 people subscribed, and I think one person does the Prime, which is only half, but it's basically $15 a month. But they don't pay out till you hit 100, which I should do this month. I'm right there. I think I'm at 85 or $90 or something like that. So I think the last one I looked was $75. So this should hit me close this month. They're weird payouts, but whatever. If it pays me $10 a month, then it pays for StreamYards. And then I'm not paying for StreamYards. Yeah, set up a raid train. Go ahead. I need some followers on my Twitch channel because I'm doing both. Right now there's Twitter people and Twitch people on here. Anyway, I would probably go over to YouTube. I just like the format better. It works better for me. I mean, they both work. They work fine. It's just Twitch is so, I don't know. It's too busy. Anyway. We like people. Okay, I really don't. I hate people. I like persons. Don't like people. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of gotten used to Twitch. There's definitely some advantages to Twitch. The input from people on Twitch is much higher. You know, most people do it on YouTube, and the chat. I think the chat system works better on YouTube. I think the video format is better on YouTube. You got the drop games and the blinkos and all the busy crap, which drives me nuts. That's why I don't do any of it. If you look, I don't do any of the OBS. This is StreamYards, and that's it. I don't do any of that other junk. It's fun. I love going to other people's stream and doing the drop game and all that. It's just not. It's a pain in the ass. It's not really worth it. But it is a way to. What's up, John? It is a way to get interaction with viewers, which is awesome. I mean, if you're into it, that's awesome. I usually use YouTube as more of a lesson thing. I was actually going to do some fusionating, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just not in the mental state. I've been fighting that freaking table saw for it's actually been months, but I've really been fighting it for the last 2 days because I really wanted it perfect. Like literally the blade on that thing has always been cocked out, like pinch. It pinches the fence. So I literally cocked the fence out to match it. The problem is I can't use the freaking sleds or anything because they cut it. It's just obnoxious. So we bought these things called PALs. Precision alignment linkage or something like that. It's basically just an L bracket that you bolt onto the bottom of the trunnion. When you bolt the trunnion on, you just trap this between the bolt and the trunnion. You have to get studs and everything because the stock bolts aren't long enough. But basically, it's just an angle bracket with 2 screws. And what it does is, instead of Normally, you literally unscrew it and tap it with a hammer, and then screw it back up, and then see if it's lined, and then unscrew it, and then tap it with a hammer. The problem is you get it really close, tapping it with a hammer, and the minute you go to tighten the screws, the whole thing shifts. It's just obnoxious. So these things like take two screws, they trap up in these studs, and they take these screws. They basically pin the trunnion in place, and by loosening this one and tightening this one, you can shift it left or right by shifting it back and forth. Well, it's a beautiful idea. There. But there's like 4 different models. And when I was looking at them, I didn't know. It says it quite clearly on Amazon. It says, basically the only difference is the stud size. Whether it's a 5/16 or, because all those table saws are all the same. There's Rigid and Powermatic and Craftsman, and they were all the same basic table saw, with the trunnion bolted to the old cast iron back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, 60s. I think Sears had that in the 50s. Anyway, they're all the same. They just had slight different, some of them have different size bolts, so you had to order the right one of the right bolts, which I didn't know. I thought they were all the same. I got the wrong size bolt, so I had to go out and buy bolts and nuts. Well, come to find out, not only that, the trunnions aren't as long from the bolt. Like on the newer ones, the trunnion extends out like an inch beyond the bolt. On the old one, it's like right at the edge of it. So the screws that came in the side were too short, so I had to cut it and drill it. And I'm just modifying this thing. I could have returned it, but I was like, it's $20. It's going to cost me $10 to return it. Then I got to wait for them. I can just drill it. It's a piece of freaking aluminum. Just an aluminum L bracket. And I actually started making a video, and then I started swearing at it, so I just stopped videotaping the whole process because I was really getting pissed. I mean, I was really good, but it was getting annoying. And the screws don't fit. They were too short, and then I had to drill it. And it was just, you're taking the whole saw apart, and it's really, really, really not a good position. It's like up underneath a cast iron table with the motor in the way. And everyone's like, well, take the motor out. Well, you can't. A lot of people do it without the motor, and then they wonder why it's not right. When the motor pulls on it, the actual blade is held by trapping the true trunnions on it. They just trap it. It's not attached anywhere other than just complete compression by the two trunnions. The whole, angle pivot is on a slide. So if you take the motor off, the way the belt is and the pulley, it actually cocks it when you put the motor on it. Just a little bit. It puts some force on it and twists it a little bit. So if you don't have the motor on it when you set it, with the belt and everything hooked up, it'll actually kick over the minute the motor weight goes on it. It's just, so it's always in the way. And then they have these Allen key bolts that have the adjustments. Well, on the right side, it's like only a half an inch from the body of the saw. So there's no way you can get the Allen key in there. And they're super fine adjustment. Like, I mean, the threads are like 1 million threads per millimeter. They're not just a standard bolt. I thought they were a standard bolt. They're not. They're a custom made bolt that does the adjustment side to side, which is good. I mean, that's the whole point, is a super fine adjustment of the blade angle. But I can't get the Allen key in there. I wanted to just undo them and go replace them. Well, you can't, because they're not a standard thread. Not anything I could just go buy at the local hardware store anyways. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to get the Allen key in there. I'm getting ready to cut off the Allen key. And I was just like, what? I'm just going to grab the damn thing with a pair of freaking channel locks and start doing it, cranking it. But even that, you can't. It's just so... 2 days of total frustration getting those things in there. But it is now done. And I'm very happy I went through 2 days of total frustration, because that thing, I can cut now on that saw. I did a couple of tests today. I actually did a bunch of tests. And it literally cuts a glue line quality cut now. Now, I have a really good blade on it too, which I bought a while ago because they were on sale. But I have a really, really, really good made. I think they're Swiss made CTC or CNC or CC something C. They're really cool orange company. They used to be all orange. Now they got rid of the orange because no one liked them, because just like the frayed, I always hated the frayed blades, because when you're doing trim work, that red Teflon they put on it, which does make it so the pitch and stuff doesn't stick. The problem is it leaves a red mark, and when you're using finish trim work, even though it's on the cut that you're weeding up to something else, you still get that little edge of that red stain from it. So yeah, I don't like those colored blades. So the CMT blades. Their industrial ones are still orange, but their current midline, which are still really good, way better than Trade, or I don't know what's the other big popular ones. I mean, the only better than them would be like an Amana, but these are $40-$50. Amanas are $100. Or Forest blades. Forest blades are like really nice blades. I've had Forest blades. They last forever. You can have them resharpened. They're $150. I can buy a boatload of cheapos for the price of that one. But when you're, working maples and walnuts, you need the good blade. So yeah, anyway, it cuts really good now. And if anybody wants to hop in and hang out, there you go. Come hop in, somebody. Otherwise, I am just talking to myself, and I can do it for about 10 minutes, and then I'm done. And I've been doing it for 20 now. Nice shirt, huh? I like my shirt. This is, believe it or not, one of the sticker mule shirts. And it's really nice, like surprisingly nice. Like, everyone makes a big deal about the Slice Engineering shirts. I think these are the same shirt, or very similar, because I have a Slice. And I will say the Slice is a little bit nicer. But they're the poly cotton mix that's really super soft. And it's been through the wash a half a dozen times, and the label's still printing. Although, yeah, it's all right. I was going to say, they had a deal sale, like they do with their stickers. I think it was $8.99 plus $1 shipping or something. So it's like, hell, for $10, even if I don't like it, it's a $10 t-shirt. You can't buy a t-shirt for $10 anymore. Worst case scenario, it's a freaking rag. What's up? Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I was just say you haven't been printing much. I haven't actually been printing all that much either. I've been out woodworking, and I shouldn't say that. I actually have been printing now and again, not anywhere near as much, but mostly for woodworking. Like everything out there, ever since I got that CNC, and like most of my printing has either been for CNC or to hold something for the CNC. But I still print. Although I did print Fix Some Dude's thing for his birthday. And actually, the one that I did that says "Dude," I sent to him with his clock, which arrived on Friday to find out he's not there. He's in Florida. So he did say I sent it. He gave me his work address because he wasn't sure if he was going to be home, and he lives in Texas. So he wasn't sitting out in the sun baking. So he sent it to his work address so he'd get it. So even though he wasn't there, he's like, somebody at work picked it up, I'm sure, put it on my desk. So it's not sitting outside somewhere. Which, if it was, there'd be a Fix Some Dude freaking plastic PLA blob dripping down the side of his clock. Because the PLA would melt in that Texas sun, I'm sure. Must be freaking hot down there. It's hot up here. I should say hot. Most of you people will be like, oh, that's good. It's 80 degrees. That's hot for me. Anything over like 65, 70 degrees is too hot. I like 60s. I can wear shorts and a t-shirt in 60, 65, and I'm like, yay, that's perfect weather. Most people are like, are you cold? Like, no. Quite happy at 65 degrees. That's when I get most things done. You don't really sweat. You can like work outside at 65 and you don't like sweat like a pig, which is nice. But it's 80. Although they're saying today and tomorrow is supposed to be hot, humid. It's humid too. Although it's not as bad as I thought. It's only 59% humidity, which is pretty good for this area. It's high for most areas, but it's pretty good for shoreline. It feels like about 90% humidity in here. Oh well. Don who? Oh, Don, German 3D printing nerd? God, I haven't seen him in like a year. Yeah, he's not. If he isn't. Brooke is, I like Brooke. I've met him a few times. I had a real long conversation with him at the first IRF. I went to the very first IRF ever. When he was there, he was just starting that whole belt thing. It wasn't even actually running. It just looked good, but he's, he just can't. What he wants to do is just nearly impossible. He wants to build high-end, high-quality, Lowell's bought Ultimaker priced printers at like quality styling, but use higher end products. His motors were better, his aluminum extrusion's better. Uses quality stuff. It's not just off the shelf cheap crap. It was all higher end, more accurate, but it costs like 3 times as much. And the average everyday person will come and go, why? They don't realize that the extrusion's done better and blah, blah, blah. And there's no real way to push that. I mean, his material costs are like $400 or $500, and they can buy an Ender 3 that works just as good for $200, Yeah, I don't see him returning anyone's money either. I don't think he has anymore. To be honest, he kind of did the whole. Did he do it on Kickstarter? He didn't actually do it on Kickstarter, did he? But he did the whole Kickstarter-y thing. You were investing in an idea when you gave him money. It was just like Kickstarter. You weren't buying a printer. You were investing in the company, and the company's gone belly up, basically. He kind of screwed himself in a way. He tried to do too much too fast way back in the beginning. If he just slowed down in the beginning and kind of leveled off and been normal, because he was pretty popular in the beginning. His printers were decent. They were a little higher priced, but they're like a Lowell's bot now. People are still buying the Lowell's bot. They're not super popular because, again, you can get almost the same thing for half the money. I mean, the Lowell's bots are nice, but so are all the other printers that are half the money. It's hot, and my leg's starting to bother me sitting in a chair, so I gotta sit sideways and get my left leg off the chair. That's better. One of these days, I might actually have, a doctor fix this, whatever it is. Some kind of pulled tendon knee thing or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dying. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't be. I don't have the good grace to lie down long enough to die. Ads. I don't. That's the other thing with Twitch. The freaking ad interruption in the middle, and They don't even like let me know that someone's watching an ad, so I know to stop. It's kind of obnoxious. You know, with YouTube, the ad comes up. It's in the beginning. That's it. Yeah, there's a lot of them. If you're watching a pre-recorded, they pop up, you know, on intervals. But live streaming, they don't pop up. You get a couple right in the beginning. Freaking Twitch just throws them up whenever. They are timed. I actually set the time. I set it at 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and 1 hour, I think. And that's it. After that, there's no more ads. And the whole point is to make you want to spend the $5 or whatever it is to pay for the subscription. But it's just kind of... I mean, I've done it a few times. I use the Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can use your Prime to get the subscription. And then you don't have to see ads no more. Amazon Prime, just having Prime, allows you 1 subscription per month free to Twitch. So I'm guessing Twitch and Amazon like own each other. Or let me rephrase that. Yeah, for 1 channel. That's the other thing. It's like $5 a channel, which I find a little excessive. Oh, it's the same thing. You can do the same thing with YouTube and pay the $80 a month and have YouTube Prime, and that's what, $75-$80 a month. So $5 at 16 channels. Yeah, I figured Amazon owned Twitch. It's kind of very Amazon-y based. It's very Amazonical. Amazonical, whatever. It is what it is. So Dan's all happy at Twitch. I don't know if you guys have been watching his, at Murph, I mean. I've been watching his Twitch streams at Murph. He's all very happy. Bearings. Bearings for the table saw that I've had a nightmare with, because this is another nightmare. Come to find out, I pulled the old bearings off and I read, you know, whatever they are, 6805 EZ or whatever. What the hell are they? Can't see it. 6808s. 6808s. So I ordered 6808s. Really nice ones. These were not cheap. These are high quality, high speed, blah, blah, blah. YouTube is $17 a month. That's it. Oh, that's, yeah, no. Oh, I'm thinking YouTube television. That's what. I was thinking YouTube TV, because I've been looking into YouTube TV and getting rid of cable. If I could just get my mother to figure out how it worked, I would do it, because I don't watch TV that much. I watch the local news, and that's about it. Occasionally, I'll watch, you know, 1 or 2 things on television. Most of the stuff I watch now is streamed. I take the streaming apps and I'll binge watch for a month and then go on to the next one. I do Hulu for a month and then I do Amazon. Well, I get Amazon because I got Prime, but Hulu, right now I'm doing Paramount and I'm watching all the Star Trek stuff, and then I'll probably go back to Disney and watch all the Star Trek stuff. And then every month I switch it. HBO for a month, Showtime for a month. I just binge watch everything for a month, but getting my mother to figure out that whole nightmare is just not worth it. Viking flicks. Is that a real thing, or is that just you hacking and stealing? Twitch Turbo? What's Twitch Turbo? Didn't know about that. What is Twitch Turbo? Didn't know Twitch had a turbo. Never heard of it. Not surprising, I'm not on Twitch all that much. I watch like 2 or 3 people on Twitch, and that's about it. I pop into a half a dozen more and just say hi, and then generally leave after 5 minutes. Yeah, but then how does it go to someone like me? I lose out because they're giving it away for free and I don't get any revenue. Not that I give a shit. Usenet. You use the net. Yeah, I'd go to streaming service. But even that, when you get them all, you know, you get all the things you want. Because like the one thing my mother does watch, she watches like the National Geographic a lot. She watches I don't know, like one of the DIY type things that does all the cooking network or whatever. She watches 2 or 3 of those. She watches Hallmark. So by the time they get all of those, and then anything else, you know, and then add your locals because they charge you for the local, which I wish we could just put an antenna back on the house, but not going to happen. Back when I grew up, we had an antenna and you went D, and it went click, 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 and it pointed at the channel at the station, the big antenna. Then we got 3, 8, 61, 14, 61 and 14 were both public. 3, 8, 30 on occasion. If the weather was good, we got NBC. 3 was CBS. 8 was ABC. Never even heard of Fox until cable. No Fox in Connecticut. I don't think there is a Fox channel in Connecticut now. Connecticut doesn't really go by Fox. Well, anyway, we won't get into that. Yeah, whatever. They just steal your money no matter what. Everyone's out to make a buck. The problem is, well, let me rephrase that. Everyone's out to make $50. That's the problem. They're not out to make a buck. They're out to make $50. And there is the whole issue with the world. People are not satisfied with making a few bucks. They want to make a buttload of bucks. And that is the issue. But anyway, back to the bearings, which were really expensive. I ordered the standard bearing, which is a standard bearing. Come to find out, those table saws don't use a standard 6808 or 8608 or whatever the hell this thing is. It is a 5/8 center ID 6808, which is a special order. And it's not that big a deal. You can find them. It's just I didn't know you could just order a 6808. You had to order a 5/8 ID 6808, which I was just order whenever I order bearings. I pull the old bearing off. I read the label on it, and that's what I order. So that was a waste of $10 or $15 each. These were almost $30. These are nice bearings. And again, the guy's like, you can return them, no problem. I was like, yeah, but it's going to cost me $10 because these things are heavy. To ship them back, or $5 to ship them back to get $10 back. Well, why? I'm out $10. It's not worth it. I'll use them on something. I will use them on something someday. That I will. Anyway, anybody want to come hang out? Because that's what makes this all fun. Otherwise, it's just me babbling about useless crap. Well, Viking, you need to come hang out for 10 minutes. I probably won't stream but another half an hour, if that. Probably less if no one else hangs out, because listening to me babble is pointless. Usenet. I think we have Usenet here, don't we? I don't think that's just a European thing. Is that your that's your actual provider, right? That's your internet provider, Usenet? designed for the original Unix to Unix dial-up network. Wow. You're on Discord. You guys in your Discord. My Discord's so obnoxious. Yeah, Usenet is a network. It's not an actual provider, though. They sub out providing to whoever. Yeah, I know. You love your Discord. What Discord are you on? You're probably on somebody's I don't have access to, huh? Are you on yours? DARPANET. What's up, Kit? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I can't afford to get on Wexters at the moment. Working on it, though. Starting to make a few bucks here and there. Not a lot, but every once in a while. Problem is I have more favors now for all the people who've helped me out, so I'm not really getting ahead, but that's all right. Gotta do what you gotta do. It's still better than doing nothing. Which is most likely what I would be doing. I do need to design for my table saw that's been annoying me, because the one more annoyance that it has is that thing spits out a buttload of sawdust. And right now I literally have cardboard. I've been designing cardboard like air ducts and stuff to scoop it all into my central dust collector. And it's sort of working, but I kept trying to get it around the head, and you just can't. There's too many holes and too many things that move up and down, so you end up with big slots, and the dust is... So just basically encasing the whole table saw box and just having all the sawdust scooped down to this bottom and then sucking it out the bottom. Just trying not to do, because then all your adjustments and everything, all the worm drives and gears and everything get covered in sawdust, but whatever. So you have to go in there a couple times a year and clean it, brush it out with a toothbrush and re-wax everything. Re-wax everything. Needs a good waxing. Wax on, wax off. Everyone's like, oh, you gotta oil all the trunnions. And no, you oil nothing under a table saw, but there's one adjuster that's sealed. And that you oil. The rest of them you wax, because then the sawdust doesn't get in there and goo it up and jam it and all that good crap. My brother's like, oh my God, this thing still works so good. Like, yeah, because I didn't oil anything. I took all the oil you dumbasses put on it off and waxed it. I mean, it works really good with oil on it for like the first week. Then you got to crank something and all that, like, rat's nest of sawdust is stuck to it. He's putting sand in his extrusions. Oh, what, to weight it? Yeah, I saw something about somebody posted something about that, like an Ender 3 hanging upside down printing. Whatever, cool. It's fun. It's kind of interesting, but why? What's the advantage? Can I, like, have a ceiling full of printers and still use the room and not take that space, I guess? Why you'd want to do that, I don't know, but sure. Whatever floats your boat. It is cool. I mean, it's interesting that it can do it, but kind of pointless. At least to me, it is. Anyway, it's been 45 minutes, and people seem to be leaving, and I'm just babbling and frustrated and don't really care. So I think I'm going to kill it. Because no one wants to listen to me babble for an hour. It's been almost that long. Yeah, that's Salamander for you. Yeah, I will. If you're over on yours, I'll hop into Discord. Hang out. So if you're not on Vikings Discord, I'll let him invite you if you're not on Vikings Discord. I won't do that. He can post the link if he wants. But yeah. I'm gonna kill it. Yeah, well it's yeah, sure. It's like Chris Riley and his disco duck freaking printer. At least that's funny. I mean, the whole thing's like, and he's got the lights, and it's like a disco dancing printer. Good people are welcome. Then you don't want me there. Anyway, on that note, hasn't been very long, 45 minutes, but I'm over it. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow in the garage real early. Yeah, Vikings on YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch. I'm killing it anyways. He's over on his Discord server, so we're going to go head over there. If you want to post your link to your Discord for Kit, because Kit's over here. Actually, Kit, you have his Discord. Aren't you on his Discord? Anyway. Pokes for Invisible Viking. He's a vampire, so, he can disappear, turn into a bat, whatever. On that note, can check. He's on Twitch. He just twitched over. Oh, no, that's right. He was on Twitch. You're on YouTube. Whatever. I'm confused. I'm old. I'm allowed to be confused because I'm old. It's my excuse, damn it. So it's been 45 minutes. That's kind of what I was working towards. So